Hello, good day, how are you all, and good evening to those who it's night time. It's New Year's Eve where I sit. Yay, if you party. And good evening to those who it's night time. So it's an open stream and nothing's really prepared today, and you're welcome to join and keeping it clean. So that means just no swearing, the usual stuff, no bonging on the air, because I'd like to keep it educational. Because this also, I do support legal activities, so I just want to put out that disclaimer. This isn't anything to do with illegal activities. Over. And I should look for some other stuff to possibly share just in case. Takes a bit to get going. How you going, Dave? How are you? Hope you're good. Yes, I'm all right, thanks. How do you pin messages? There we go. There we go. G'day, Dave. How are you? Hope you had a great Christmas. It was all right, mate. Nice and quiet, which is what I like. And good morning to Jeff Papalia. There you go, Jeff. Top of the day to you. Actually, that's what we can nearly talk about. Jeff said something last time about the outdoors flowering at the moment, and I'd put it down, if you've grown in a spot where it's normal and it hasn't been in flower in this time of the year and all of a sudden it is, I reckon that's to do with the El Nino pattern that we're in and all of the overcast days possibly, and the plants might have gone into a SPAC cycle because of that. That's all I can suggest on that one, because it's not genetics, because you've done it before. It's nothing to do with changing. It's a photoperiod thing that induces the flowering stage to produce what's the hormone? FL? No, it's not FL. Florigine is the hormone, so it induces that. So that's what I reckon. Just a guess though. How you going, Vinny? Vin? And Aussie Autos, how you going, mate? Nice to see you. Today's just a New Year's Eve stream. It's an open stream. Nothing's really prepared. Oh, good on you. That's what it is. That was what Jeff was thinking too. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? It's funny how plants work. It's good though. You can muck around with them with the different conditions. Use them to your advantage. It's very good. Who would have thought you could get flowers at Christmas time, huh? In the Southern Hemisphere. Unheard of. But Jeff's looking at it right now. Or not looking at it, but that's what can happen. Ned Kelly, g'day Ned. How you going? Not enough light, says Jeff. Yes. Not enough light to induce the photoperiod, unfortunately. I wonder if I can show you some photoperiod stuff. Let's have a bit of a squeeze. All right, I'll just have a bit of a bow peep here. Photoperiod. Photoperiodism. What section is that in? Photoperiods. Photosynthesis, probably. Oh, there's a lot of photosynthesis stuff. Maybe just show those ones. Is that to do with photoperiod? I'll just show these ones. Where are we? Processes in a plant. Down under Fuller. How are you, mate? Top of the morning to you. It's just an open stream today. Just nothing's prepared. We're just talking about photoperiodism and how plants are turning a little bit early because of the El Nino pattern in Australia at the moment. So I'll show some slides. Share screen on photosynthesis. So sunlight goes in and CO2 goes in and oxygen goes out through respiration. And then down here, water is absorbed through the atmosphere, CO2 is pumped out when it respires, and oxygen goes in through the roots. The day and night processes of a plant. Abstraction and absorption spectra. This shows the action spectra is the amount of light that gets into it. So it's the dark, thick black line here. So you'll see in the red phase, there's a decent amount that goes into the green and back up into the blue, and into the UV stage. And then the absorption is the amount that's gone into the leaves, and it'll be over here with the different chlorophylls that there are. And plants use chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B. And you can see it which spectrums is which is absorbed. The chlorophyll A and B are on the carotenoids, that's the yellow bit. It's not really much action, but you can see that's why people at the end of their cycle, they might have gone and put blue lights in, because blue will initiate your carotenoids, because that's your yellow pigments of your plants. So you see that. If you use your red light at the end of your spectrum, you're not going to get that little bit of bonus. I'll better check chat. Far out. Oh, Jesus. G'day, Vinny. Jever Day. Hey, legends. Oh, I should stop sharing. I'll stop sharing for a bit. Looks like there's a bit of stuff here. Where's the background? That's the background. Hey, yep, you can still hear me. Jeff, I'm cutting the crap out of them. Like it's in re-veg and way too thick, and all I can see is having trouble with mold. Oh, mate, that's no good. Damn. Yes. Yeah, good on you for pruning them back. You want to see from one side to the other with heaps of air gaps in the middle. And this is the problem with its going with these heaps and heaps of overcast days. It's inducing the flowering cycle, which is going to give you heaps of re-veg. So it's going to be a very, very poor yield, because it takes a few weeks for it to, or 10 days for it to go from one stage to the other, and then it doesn't know which way it's going. So good luck, mate. One way you can maybe help is you can get a little greenhouse or a little pop-up tent, and maybe use they've got this red film that they invented in Newcastle that's increases the light spectrum. So when we saw on present, hang on, I'll share my screen again. So we saw on here before, when they added the light spectrum, instead of it being on an overcast day, it might be dipping down here because of photosynthesis. It just can't get what it wants out of the sun. It increases it. So that's a way that you can sort of increase it on an overcast day, just as a suggestion. But yeah, it sucks, mate. I feel for you. I'll just scroll down here, see what else is going on. Cloudscape just checking in. How you going, mate? Hope you're checking in all right. Hey, small tubes. He's dabbing his head off again. That's the way. Hi, friends. I was just going to ask what a good way, Jeff, and that's what I'm doing. So they are starting to reveal. Oh, yeah, to re-veg, he says. Yep. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it, mate? There you go, PTP. That was Ninja. Hello, Ninja Man. Are you Concrete Man? Concrete Ninja? Polyfish. Jeff. Exactly, mate. They're in greenhouses, CC. Oh, yep. Well, we'll look into that. It's through the University of New South Wales, and they invented it there, and it's film you can buy. It's really, really cheap, like real cheap. And that's a suggestion. It's actually made to go on greenhouses and greenhouse replacement, and it'll increase your spectrum, so it will help you through this type of a phase. PTB, talking all that weird stuff, like rectangular growth stems that warped leaf around and normal looking bits. Yeah, like the Japanese do it. They're rectangular watermelons, mate. It's cool how you can manipulate plants. Is it possible to grow weed? Oh, yes, mate, definitely. Temperature's the thing that's going to slow it up. So you have to consider that. And there's always enough light and humidity. So they're the three things you sort of got to consider. But it's definitely possible. Another, you can do indoor-outdoor is also a way where you can start it indoor and finish it outdoor, but you're talking about in winter. So it's below the light. So you can do that. So you can put it inside and then finish it outdoor because it's under a 12-12 cycle. That's one way. You can do it with a greenhouse and heat the floor. And you can heat the heating space. Don't use any type of, what's those old furnace kerosene heaters, because they will induce, they put out ethylene and that will induce your flowering cycle and finish early, and also give you a bit of abiotic resistance in your plants. Yeah, I hope that helps. There's a few ways, but it's definitely, you can definitely do it, mate. But the winter, a good thing is the oil heater. That's a good way, because plants don't like heat directly. They like indirect heat. They just want to be feeling their comfortable temperatures, you know, around 78, sort of 26C. So that's, yeah, good question, buddy. I looked into it, CC, it sounds good. Yes. Yeah, mate, that's the way. Keep me updated, because I wouldn't mind hearing how it goes too. Because they didn't test it on cannabis, they were just testing it on spectrum meters. Any recommendations on greenhouses, or should I build something? You can, yeah, go cheap. I'm cheapy. So if you've got space, go a hoop house. So that's just conduit, 1 inch conduit or 32 mil. You bend 1 or 2 lengths and then connect them either side. Make there's your hoop, your frame, then build a door entrance at the start, just a wood frame, up, across, down. Put the door in, and then throw ply over the throw your clear stuff over the top, clear plasticky stuff over the top. Do you know people have even done it out of plastic bags? Yes. Cheers, CC. Oh, good. I hope it helped, mate. Same to you, Wally. G'day, Wally. Yes. Hope you had a good Christmas, he reckons. Hope everybody had a good Christmas. Oh, it's PTP. Grew a 1 gram bud in half-litre pot in a hallway during winter. Wasn't near a window either. There you go. Every day. You can even do it inside. The yield mightn't be up to your standard, but this fella's done it. So many different ways to grow. It's so cool. There's not just one technique works. You have to see what works in your area. And see, PTP even went to extremes and did it under a hallway light, and it worked. Good on you, mate. Ain't had Christmas yet. Oh well, Christmas is just for kids and for the religious, I say. Hey, Gear Change, how's it going, mate? Just finished the live. Just wanted to say happy early. Good on you, Gear Changer. Nice, PTP. All right, I'll get back and share some of those. It's a bit of a photosynthesis thing today. So share screen. Nothing's prepared. This is just from my slides in photosynthesis. So we've been through that one. Oxygen-dependent bacteria accumulated near. Okay, that's a bit full on. Chloroplasts. That's the sites of the chloroplasts. They're the absorption things that maneuver that transform all the radiation into the sugars that are required, which therefore transform into the energy that's required, the ATP for the plant. Oh, this is a good one. This shows the reflection meter as well into it. That's why I like this meter. So that's this line down here, this curved one here. So you can see in here, they reckon through the green, it's reflected. Yeah, not much of it is, because there's different cycles that actually is absorbed through green. That's why you get better results outdoors. And see, it even, most of the meters are cut off around this. They think, oh, it only goes through our visible light about the 700, where it goes into the infrared. We'll look up here. It still transmits. There's still a 900, 1,000, and it goes right up. And I think I've got that spectrum chart. Well, I'll just carry the wavelengths. Oh, that's the energy that you get out of, I was looking for this a while ago, 274 kilojoule per mole out of blue, and you get a little bit less out of the red. So that's interesting. You can use that to your advantage and the different manipulations. Like, for instance, back when you're finishing it and you want to use some blue light, to finish it, because the carotenoids are, there's mostly yellow leaves, that you'll know the red light's not going to give you much energy. Blue light's going to give you a lot more, and it's in the spectrum in the 440 nanometers that's involved in that. I like all the sciencey stuff. Chloroplasts, what's that? Pigments of green, blue, and algae. Oh yeah, because algae's got different. They go into the chlorophyll, the B's, C's, and E's. Into the algaes, they go into different spectrums, which we're not really interested in because we're into the plants. The action in through that. Here's the different light spectrum. So there's in the plants, there's a photosynthesis 1, which is from your 700 nanometers and up, and then there's a photosystem 2, which is below that. And then once it gets up to 680 nanometers, then it kicks into photosystem 1. That's the regulations inside the plants. Oh, and that's technical stuff. This is how it transforms the light into the molecules to give you the ATP, which is the ATP, sorry, the adenine diphosphate transforms to the triphosphate. Yeah, and then when it's dark or it's not getting any light energy, it goes into the night cycle, which is the Kelvin-Benson cycle, which it does the same thing. So it's 24/7. All right. Oh, that's a bit of a cool thing. I'll stop. Actually, that might be nearly the last one. How many more I've got to go? Don't know. I'll see what we're up to with the questions and whatnot. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Oh, there it is. Good on your PTP. I have a polycarbonate roof, good for hailstones. Yes, it is. Did you know that polycarbonate roof, that they absorb the UV, some of the UVB light. So you want to add artificial UVB lights underneath, you'll be able to have nearly a full spectrum. And that shows with people that have gone, oh, don't go and do it. That'll do. Oh, here we go. Wallyfish's got a big one. Yeah, the new plastic bag fell apart. Oh. All right. Wallyfish, funny stuff happening. Yeah, biodegradable bags. Yeah, you know which ones are biodegradable. After 12 months, you lift it up and nothing happens. It goes poof in your hands. It's funny. That's way to go. Oh, here we go. Something about mold. That was way to go, Jeff. Using fan, it will stop the mold. It works for me. It makes it harder for it to colonize because it's a lot of bugs and bacteria and insects and stuff. They don't like heaps of vibration and where the wind is. Oh, so funny. What's so funny, reckons? My greenhouse roof is clear. Shower screens. Oh, that's good. There you go. It's a different type of roof you can use. That's not going to block out any UVB. Oh, unless it's what's that glass called? It's got to be clear glass. There's a word they use where it's if it's not clear, it will reflect some of the spectrum. Oh, starts with T. Someone will know it. I have 10 fans. Oh wow, that's pretty good, Jeff. I won't put that up, but good on you, mate. Very good. Mick, how you going, Mick? Greenhouse roof being up for so long, rusted out screws, blew off in a storm over the fence. It wasn't intact. Neighbour passed them back and re-screwed it back on. There's recycling at the best. Good work, mate. Oh, this is cool. Oh, there's the word, translucent. Thank you, Vinny. That's exactly what I was saying. If it's translucent grass, yes, do you change it? Thanks, mate. Yeah, it does reflect some of the spectrum, but the shower screens wouldn't have that. Hamos Outdoors. Hamos. There you go. So wait, I'll see if there's any more. It's a bit of a photosynthesis and ceiling or roof, glass, roof house type of thing. I'll see if there's some more slides I can share. Actually, I should just look first and share sharing them, because how many's left? Oh, there's a few more. All right, I'll get back and share some. Invite, no, present. What's this one? Share screen. Share screen. Photosynthesis, where are you? Here we go. So what's this one saying? Oh, this is just a graphic of how the CO2 goes in, H2O, and O goes out. And the water goes up through the xylem, and the minerals go up and back through the phloem. Transpiration is the rate of absorption of water, almost directly proportional to that of transpiration. Absorption of water is directly, so that means that if you're using your vapor pressure deficit, the VPD, which I don't, because of this is the reason why I don't, is that the humidity will be too high outside and there will be no suction. So there will be no transpiration, therefore no minerals and water flowing through the vesicles in the plant, the vascular bundle. This is that chart that I spoke about before that goes above the normal wavelength. That's I've really never seen anywhere else. So it usually goes to 700, which is the infrared, 700. And then up, let's see the plant, look how much it still uses above that. This is why it's so good outdoors. So you've got 1,000, right up to 3,000, which is never even talked about. And all these little dips in it, these are little gases and carbon dioxide and little, here it says it. Yellow color shows energy absorbed by gases, including air, vapor, water, carbon dioxide, ozone, and other greenhouse gases. So it's the solar energy curve, is the black line, and then the incoming solar radiation at sea level. So if you're up higher, you'll get a better spectrum as well. Solar radiation curve, radiation curve. So yeah, that's why you get a lot better outdoors because of this. And they haven't replicated that because they haven't even worried about going past this nanometers. So see, look at that. It still gets 1 watt per square meter is still absorbed above the nanometer spectrum, where inside it goes to 2.5 watts per square meter. Actually, I don't know about that. This is I'm reading this chart, sorry, but inside it goes up to like that, and there's still a potential outside, 50% more outside than you can get from the sun. Yeah, that's the spectrums. Wavelengths that are best for photosynthesis. Blue and red, yeah, no, that one. That's how it works in the photosynthesis cycle. I should show you where the green ones work. I can't remember where they work, but there is some pathways that are initiated through that spectrum. Appropriate UV light treatment increases plant yield in some species. No, that shouldn't be there. It doesn't. I don't know about. It's not plant yield in cannabis. It increases your terpene production because it's a form of radiation that's the plant has to ward off against. We are interested in the top two because the other ones are for algae and stuff. C and D are for, we got carotones and xanthanophil. That's also in cannabis. Cryptochrome, that's in the blue, is cryptochrome. Let's just zoom in. Okay. What's this to show? Oh, wow, this is inside the cells. So this is one that you'll see it's very, very green because the chlorophylls have absorbed a shitload of energy. And the ones that aren't as green, that means they're not absorbed as much energy. And they could also be having a nitrogen deficiency. That's just a basic spectrum. What's this? Oh, this is a circadian clock movement. Did you know? I'll go back and see what chat's doing, and then I'll talk about the circadian clock, how plants work with the circadian clock. It's pretty cool. Very cool, mate. Where we get up to up here? Hamos, I remember. It's full spectrum. My name is Hamos, so people call me Hamo. If anybody cares. How you going? Hamo? Hope you're doing well, mate. All the best for the new year. They have twin wall polycarbonate designed for greenhouses. Sweet. PGP. Yes. I sell that. They sell that at that big store. Yes, they do. Just like, just like Corifalute. Don't know what that is. Jeff, cheap stuff works and is UV stable. Comes in clear, which is a bonus. You want all the spectrum. I've used 10 mil. It works great. Sweet. This show's running itself. It goes together like tongue and groove. That's funny. That was appropriate. AJ Thomas P. How you going, mate? Interesting draft. How do you not get in between? What? How do you not let stuff get in between the both sides? Good question. Has the H section to join them? Hey, Thomas. Has C channel to... Has C channel... Oh, there he goes. There's your answer. It has C channel to cover the ends so stuff doesn't get in between the layers. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, back to the sharing the thing. Picking up half an hour. Good, this can nearly finish soon. There's a link up the top if anybody wants to rock up. So I'll share this into the photosynthesis and greenhouse time. This is. It's been pretty good. So the circadian clock. This must be one of the last ones. So it does work. The plants do work around the circadian, around the clock time, because they have different genes expressions at different times. There will be calcium levels are released at different times through cytosolic patterns. The protein phosphorylation is made at different stages because that's involved with ATP as well, so different energies to make the phosphorylate. Chloroplast movement, well, that's absorbed with, it's got to be stimulated by light. Otherwise, it's not going to. They bounce around. They move around and stuff. I should put them under my microscope, and definitely not today. They don't bounce around. They just move around. They get excited, and when the sunlight hits them, and the stomatas open and close. Yes, that's the circadian clock. What's this? Hypocotyl length. Yes, we all know with dark times that your hypocotyls stretch or your stems stretch. That's why some unexperienced and uneducated growers use PGRs, because they don't know how to get better genetics or manipulate their lights to make it work to how it should be working. Don't use PGRs. I don't promote any type of shit things to get put into plants at all. They're bioaccumulative, so they absorb a hell of a lot of stuff. So you give it to them, they'll probably take it and store it. It's good practices should always be upheld. Medical cannabis is the way for the future, and only the way that I am around with organics and stuff. There's many other ways to grow, but that's the way that I support. What's this one? Cotyledons and leaf movement. Oh yeah, the cotyledons will go up and pray when they see the sun, and they won't. And you can get like a COT gene, COT, is it COTY? COTY gene expression, and that's when you'll have 3 of them, and that will be for these types of things to get them a better start in life. What's this other one? I can't read that. Oh, that's for flowers. We're not going to talk about it. Unrelated. Circadian oscillates of hormones and genes. Yeah. The rhythm damps and shifts due to aging. And did you know too that if you try and offset it, the plant will still react because it's in this rhythm pattern. Like if you want to try and change your day to night and just instantly change it, it won't give a stuff what you're doing because it's in the pattern. It will react. The stomatas will close and open according to their patterns that they are in. That's pretty cool. The phytochrome response and 3 types. So your phytochrome, that's your red response. What's this? The 3 types of what for reversal? Needs long exposure, no respiratory for far red reversal. So your log photon flux density and your relative response. So looks like you can manipulate and shift the plants by giving different flux density amounts of the photons, which is the red. That's a bit technical. The anthocyanins is the green spectrum. Okay. Superposition of spectral and chlorophyll A and B, a typical anthocyanin showing while chlorophylls absorb in the blue and red and yellow, that Oenin absorbs mainly in the green, where chloroplasts don't absorb at all. Cool. This is what I was getting to before, that there is a stage in plants where they do use the green spectrum. The melvidin 30 glucoside is induced. And that's, yeah, rad. It is here. Very good. The changes of light intensity and wavelength can manipulate plant metabolism. So you always want a high metabolism unless it's sick. Then you want to slow it right down, because otherwise it's got to repair and build itself up. So from changing the light intensities, you can manipulate on how fast or how slow that goes. That's what this shows. These examples of different light treatments' effects on plants' performances. So these are different experiments that have been done. So by using higher far red, actually I'm not going to go through all of these. These are just fascinating. If you're into research like I am, these are different things that you can manipulate your plants with by trying different things. It's really rad. Through high pressure sodiums or LEDs. So they've tried different. This isn't cannabis related, but this is where I pulled my stuff out of plant related experiments, try them with cannabis, and find most of the time that it works. So you can reduce your dry weight and your plant height. You can inhibit stem elongation. You can give a higher dry weight. You can enhance leaf expression. You can make the leaves bigger. You can make them absorb more through chromosome enhancement. There's different ways where you can really fiddle with your plants to get the best out of them. It's really cool. And then you breed with those genetics, and then you induce those genetics into the progeny. So the progeny, which is the offspring of the parents that you bred from, should have some of those traits. So you can really get some high yielding hetero hybrid vigor, heterosis. So you can really get some heterosis happening in your cultivar. These are some other different functions and locations, and actually this is getting a bit into detail. Out of the light reaches, only 5% reaches the Earth's surface. Yeah, and a lot of it's bounced around and sent back through the clouds. So that's why you're getting a reaction from your photosystems in your plant, which is telling you that it's in flower cycle. Because yeah, with clouds, most of it's bounced back because the albedo is the reflectance of the cloud, and the albedo layer is very high. So if it hits the cloud, that's why it can go dark underneath it in a sunny day, because the clouds are so reflective and so thick that it just bounces back. And that ends today's. So that was really good. That was really cool. Jeff sort of made the topic. Good on you. Good on you, Jeff. I can reword this screen and put up, I'll go answer some questions first. Go back, see what, I'll just scroll up here. I've used 10 mil. Interesting, both sides. Cheers. Hey, Thomas. Just switch the laptop on. YouTube. Interesting. 100% CC weed plant, very known to hold chemicals and metals. Yep. Bioaccumulative, definitely, mate. More than other plants. Yeah, it's right up there. CSL. Hey, CSL lawn. RC lawn. How you going, mate? Oh, we've got a question. What's your opinion on those new UV light attachments you can get now for large room bar setups? They're rad, mate. They're really good, because a lot of, especially LEDs, they don't put out the UV light. They have infrared in them. The infrared, or they just generate a lot of heat. It's saw by that spectrum before they do something, but they're the heat factor too. They work. Like, a long story short, if you get ones that can penetrate enough, they work real well. Definitely don't go with UVC, because that kills cells. But UVA and UVB, and particularly UVB, is really good. That's the spectrum that gets blocked through some greenhouse roofs that they've tested on. So yeah, mate, they're good. Especially if you're using LEDs, and the LEDs, they probably wouldn't have many in them. Or you can look in your spec sheet and see what types of spectrums they have in them, and you can see that if there's any of the like below 400 nanometer spectrum in your LEDs, which is in the UVA and UVB spectrum. Yeah, you don't want the UV. What's UVC? I'm not going to go and show it to you because we've been going for long enough, I think. I hope that helps, Wally. But yeah, mate, they're really good. You'll see, do a before and after run with them, for instance. Do one with it, or even put, if you've got a big enough tent or room, put one on the side so you can see what the difference is. Try and put two plants, one on the left, which is, which is about the same size as one on the right, and then grow them the same way, and then put the light under that one, and you'll see the terpene profile and possibly the cannabinoids, the trichomes, will be a lot more intense on that. I've never heard of a UV attachment. Mine are full spectrum though. Oh yeah, see, so that's good. So the new ones, the new lights they're putting out are full spectrums. That's rad. But yeah, they do really work with the ones like the HLDs when they first come out and stuff. They were poor lights. They had a white spectrum, a blue, mostly blues, and then they introduced the reds after a while because they worked out they weren't doing good in flower because you need the red spectrum like we saw before. And then they started putting UV bars in and strips, which Wallyfish was mentioning. They're really cool. So that's good. G'day, Luke. Luke. Someone says, g'day, Luke. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's about time for today. Is there any other questions or anything like that? Hit them now. Have a good night, guys. See you in the new year. See you, Vin. See you, Vin, in the new year. Yes. Any other questions? I'll wait for a bit more to come through. Do the full spectrums include UV? Aussie Autos, asked J Thomas. Yes, they would, but they'd be limited. You'd have to check because each manufacturer is different for the amount that they put in. You get really low penetrating 1 and 2 watt diodes, and then you get your 5 watt diodes, then you get your 5 watt double chip diodes. They work really, really well. I've used the 5 watt double chips and they get good penetration, where the 1 and the 2 watts, they don't really penetrate much. You have to have them virtually touching the plants to get any use out of them. As an example, you can take your meters, your photon, what are they called, par meters, and you'll have to see it. You have to hold it really, really close for it to get a decent reading on it. So it's cool. Just checking your manufacturers. So the cheapy lights, they wouldn't have the full spectrums in it, and they would use probably the 1 and 2 watts. And then the better $2,000 lights, they would be up there with ones that would penetrate at least 1 or 2 foot. So it's going to get into the area of that you want. Oh yeah, a lot of Americans sold on them at all. Some growers like, here we go. Some growers like Indoor Promised Land and many more still researching, but I understand spectrums. Okay. Yeah, manufacturing, people believe a lot of shit these days, and people are good at selling stuff. And cannabis especially is new-ish. There's a lot of uneducation in it. So it's hard to get up on the latest and stuff. So it's all these people can market things very easy, show plants that aren't like, what's that fella's name? That fella, that big fella who has the big, I can see his face. He's got a beard. He's got a moustache. You know him. Someone said his name right now. Thank you. But put it on there. I can't hear it. His name. It'll come to me. He got a lot of sales out of showing massive, massive trees and if you buy his plants, you'll get massive trees. Well, to get high yield, it's to do with nutrients, of course, because otherwise there'll be nutrient deficiencies. But it's to do with the size of the length of the veg time. If you go and veg something for 6 or 9 months, you're gonna have a tree. That's what he used to do. Then he'd flip them, and then so you'd see these giant, big, massive cloned sort of mother plant trees that are flipped, and you go, oh my god, I want some of them. So yeah, it's marketing can really sell stuff really, really easily. It's a bit of a shame, but anyway, they're clever at their job. It's a job, isn't it? Yes, yours are worth $6.50 each, and use 2 for 4x4. Nice one, mate. Hey, good on you, Blinky. Blinky says, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year too. Is PARMAP got A+? It's PARMAP got, oh yeah, it's PARMAP. That's a good start. Spectrum Map got an A++ rating. Wow, that's really good. That's a good price too, mate, for what he got. Very good. Zaya, how you going, Zaya? Good morning to all. Yes. Oh, that's it. Very good. All right. Well, I reckon, same to you, Blinky. Yeah, I reckon that's going to end the year. And all you folks who aren't New Year's, you'll enjoy it tomorrow. Because Australia or New Zealand's the first to go through it, and Australia's second. And it's yes, it's close now. So thanks for all your questions and making this into. I'm going to change the title into a photosynthesis and greenhouse roof title. So good on you. Thanks for writing the show for me, you guys and girls. And g'day to Koski, slipping in the back. How you going, Koski? Always growing the goodness he is. Yes, this just it wasn't a prepared one, but we talked a lot about the photosynthesis and greenhouses and different spectrums that work in the UV lights. It was quite good, actually. I enjoyed it for an unplanned show. Thanks, Jeff. Think of some topics again, peoples, and we can just do something similar because it's a lot easier for me, I can tell you. And I might be doing this for the next. This is going to be the same thing, probably till at least for the next quite a few weeks. I'm going to be just doing these random shows. They're not going to be prepared. I'll save that breeding one, maybe the end of January odd, because I haven't really got the time. And I hope you can think of topics that we can go through like today, because I think today was pretty good. Wow, I crapped on for 42 minutes. Didn't crap on. Actually, it was useful information. Sorry. Reword that. Beep. All right. I'll just say goodbye. Hey, Aussie. Yep. G'day. Peace to Jeff. He says, Happy New Year, guys. From JTT. That's all right, Zaya. Lucky it's recorded, mate. If you wish to listen, you can always go back. Yes. Oh, yep. See you later at Gear Streams. No, Gear Changes, New Year's Eve stream. Don't forget, everybody. Gear Changer. New Year's Eve stream. And that's it. Aussie Autos. Good information, CC. Thanks, Jeff. Come up with some new stuff. We can do it again next week. In 7 days' time, I'll see you all again. 2023, the year of the mighty Titans. Okay. I think that's football. I'm into cricket. So it's the year of the Brisbane Heat. Woo! The year to get legalised is the way to say it. Yes, well worded, J. Thomas P. Yes, hope it happens. Goes cool, and Luke. Leave a like, he reckons. Thanks, mate. Slap like y'all. Thanks very much, everybody. I appreciate everybody rocking up. Good on yous. And I'll see you next year. Woohoo! All the best for your new year. Cheers. Happy breeding, happy growing, and good health to you all. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.